The internet's a marvellous thing if you're familiar with it and you know how to use it.
In our interconnected world, it's hard to imagine life without being online. But over 60% of over 75-year-olds have never used the internet. Tom and Eileen have been married for 54 years, and they're both looking to introduce something new to their relationship: the internet.
I'd like to be able to go online. I'd like to be able to be confident on it, know what I'm doing. But you hear so much about people being conned and things like that, that it makes, when you get older, it makes you more concerned because you feel you're not as wise as you should be, or as aware as you should be of things that are happening. And then when you do know what can happen, you get frightened of it.
Young people have grown up with it and they take it for granted. Our problem is we didn't need it. Now we've got it. If we don't understand something and we ask somebody to show us, they then show us so quickly, we still don't understand it.
They've both been set a task and are taking part in a challenge where they have to get online and use their devices at least once a day for the next week.
I find it all very difficult to understand or comprehend. I think it would be far easier to learn Greek, but at the end of the day, it's something I suppose I have to do to bring myself up to date with the new technology which everybody seems to be using. Everywhere I turn, everything has to be done by a computer. Not an easy task for me. I'd like to think I'm a man of the future. I haven't got that long to learn it. It depends how long it takes to learn.
Right, I'm much more aware of life changing around me. Banks are closing, things are moving on. I want to move on with it. I don't want to be stuck in a rut. I find technology quite difficult, as I say, because I haven't used it before and I'm quite fearful of it. But I'm positive. So the next time you see me back here, I'll be doing things for myself.
Being online can make daily aspects of life easier, but having a lack of awareness can make you vulnerable and open to online scams. 72-year-old Jack lives in Hastings with his wife Margaret. He had his buying power taken away from him earlier this year after he fell victim to an online scam.
I was working on my laptop on Saturday afternoon some months ago, and this voice suddenly appeared. And this voice was telling me that he believed that all my files had been compromised. And if I rang a number that he would give me, he would try to sort out any damage that had been done to the files. So I rang this number and he said, yes, I've got your files in front of me and they have been compromised. I'm not computer literate. I thought all my files have been compromised and I didn't know what to do. So I chose to let him help me. Somehow he was taking over my computer. He was actually talking to me and I could hear him, and he was working my computer because I could see the files and the keys and the arrow being whizzed around the screen. It wasn't until he told me he'd done all the work that was needed and everything was now back that he needed paying. And the payment was £200 and so I don't know, 200 odd pounds. And he asked me how I was going to pay it. And the only way I could pay it there and then was with a credit card. So he then asked me for my credit card details, which I gave him. I'd heard of Trojan horses, I'd heard about security. I hadn't bothered about it because I didn't understand it, quite honestly. I didn't understand at all what it meant, what I had to do. They're very clever people who seem to pick on the right vulnerable people every time. I was lucky that the bank spotted it. And I got all the money back that they took. How they could con me that much. Made me angry, and I was a little vulnerable actually. I felt, well, what am I doing on the computer? I really don't understand. I had to put all my trust into this guy, which I did, because I thought I was going to lose everything. So they know what to do. They're very, very professional. They seem to pick on the idiots who go with them all the time. I don't know how they do it. I do not know how they do it. I mean, I get a bit concerned that they can take over my computer just like that. And I don't know how they did that. Wish I did.
Having worries about pressing the wrong button and having a lack of understanding about how it can benefit their lives are the main reasons why the elderly don't get online.
I wouldn't like to live without being on the internet. I do have a friend who, she does have a mobile phone, but she doesn't have access to the internet, and I just couldn't imagine not ever being able not to be able to do that. It's quite restricting, I think. The basic things that you need to learn, like once you've switched it on, where do you go then? It was all those kinds of things that you can access Safari, look on the internet. From there you start looking at emails, looking at different websites, then sending someone an email with an attachment on it, which is only something I've just very recently, not fully mastered yet, but actually learned the process of doing that. It's restricting in that your information is extremely limited because you don't have access to anything. So it's just a whole new world out there, having access to the internet, looking at it, finding things that you want to, comparing things, for instance prices, and it's so easy because before we were all connected to the internet, if you wanted to find an item that was cheaper in one shop than another, you had to go to 2 or 3 shops, whereas now you just go on, compare something, and so it does the work for you. You can do things at your own pace because all the people here are at a different stage in their computer learning. I wouldn't have liked not to have done this because it's been so very rewarding, really, that you meet a lot of people. Some people are in the same boat that you are, and other people who can add to your existing knowledge.
Right.
Well, having practiced a bit since, learning a little bit more about how to deal with it, I understand a bit of the jargon. I still find it frustrating because if anything happens, I don't know what to do.
Well,
Go on.
I'll be more confident, really. I think I'll have to do an awful lot more practicing with it.
Well, I think the whole secret of it is usage. And if you don't use it, you just forget what you thought you knew. I get so frustrated. I think, well, I could do this yesterday. Why can't I do it today? Pure and simple. I forgot because I hadn't been using it. Haven't got the confidence to use it. I find it very frustrating, really.
Are you going to make an effort, though, to...
Well, I can only persevere, I suppose.
You see, I think you're better at it than I am.
Yeah, only in short bursts. I'm all right all the time. Everything's working correctly on the computer when it's doing what I think I've told it to do. When it doesn't do that and something else appears, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do.
Just go back. What I do when
I
I
keep
get
going
stuck.
back all the time.
Well, I just go back to, or tick outside the box until it goes away.